Penguin Random House Audio presents the only negotiating guide you'll ever need. 101 Ways to Win Every Time in Any Situation. Revised and updated. Read by the authors Peter B. Stark and Jane Flaherty.
We have often heard the phrase, everything is negotiable. Although this sounds true, in fact, some things are not negotiable. On August 17, 1998, my 14-year-old daughter and Jane's niece, Brittany, passed away while waiting for a heart transplant. Brittany touched the lives of so many people. She was the type of person who helped us all be the very best parents, sisters, brothers, and friends that we could be. Although Brittany's life ended way too soon, we were all blessed to have been a part of it. It seems God needed an angel. Through the loss of Brittany, we have learned the hard way that God's plan is one thing that is not negotiable. Someone once told us, if you want to make God laugh, share with him your plan. Brittany, thanks for showing the world what unconditional love, true happiness, and the unwavering courage to fight for what's right looks like in real life. Like most teenagers, you were a great negotiator. You were also a wonderful gift to the Spirit. This book is dedicated to you. May your dreams live on. Listeners, please sign the organ donor registry and carry your organ donor card. Let your loved ones know you've decided to do so. It is easily done at donatelifeamerica://registerme.org or www.donatelifecalifornia.org/Brittany. Share your life. It is the last and greatest gift you can give back to God and humanity.
Introduction. Why another book on negotiation? In 2003, the only negotiating guide you'll ever need was first published. Since its release, the book, ebook, and audio versions have sold close to 100,000 copies. In the last 15 years, our content and seminars have helped thousands of people become stronger, more confident negotiators. Since the book was first published, we have continued to learn more about negotiation. In our personal negotiations, through watching national and international negotiations, and from our seminar participants. As we learned more, we felt compelled to share some of this new knowledge with you, the reader, in our revised, updated edition. The purpose of this book is to provide you with the skills and tools necessary to be a great negotiator who builds strong, lifelong, win-win relationships. The philosophy behind the approach used is that as a negotiator, you have an obligation to help your counterparts in negotiations come out as winners. Why? Because very few negotiations are one-time affairs. With almost every product or service you purchase or sell, even if it's a car or a house, you have the opportunity to build a relationship that will benefit you and strengthen your ability to negotiate all life's outcomes. Think about it. If you are in sales, every negotiation that has a win-win outcome provides you with the opportunity to work with the buyer and the buyer's referrals for the rest of your life. When buying a product or service, most successful people consistently go to contacts they have made in the past win-win negotiations because those connections have resulted in strong relationships based on trust. You might ask, but what about buying a car? Isn't that just a one-time negotiation? Here lies the challenge. For years, car dealerships have treated selling cars as a one-time affair, not bothering to create a pleasant or significant experience for the buyer. As a result, they have left a bad taste in the mouths of car buyers. The reality is that there are some people who have bought 2 or 3 cars from the same car dealership and even the same salesperson. This type of relationship is ideal since it can save both counterparts in the negotiation a lot of time, money, and aggravation. Our current clients who own a car dealership are proud to tell us that almost 50% of their fleet is sold to existing customers who have had a good purchasing experience in what is obviously a win-win relationship. But if the goal is to create mutually beneficial relationships based on trust, why are strategies and tactics important? Doesn't that seem manipulative? First, because not everyone you negotiate with will care about creating a win-win outcome. The sharks, or bullies, which you will hear more about in Chapter 8 of this world, want to win at all costs and couldn't care less if you lose. Second, effective strategies and tactics help generate a number of options to enable both you and your counterpart to accomplish your goals. The more options you have, the more likely it is that you will be able to generate a win-win outcome. Finally, your counterpart will probably use strategies and tactics even if you don't, and the ability to recognize and counter them will enable you to bring the negotiation back to a level playing field. In most situations, strategies and tactics are critical to success. That's why we discuss them in great detail in Part 2 of this book. Note that when discussing negotiation, we have chosen to use the word counterpart rather than opponent. How you view those you negotiate with has a lot to do with your ability to achieve successful outcomes. Looking at those you negotiate with as an opponent tends to result in win-lose outcomes. On the other hand, approaching those you negotiate with as counterparts makes you feel a personal obligation to create success for both sides and tends to result in win-win solutions. Although great negotiators drive a hard bargain, most have the reputation of being both fair and trustworthy. When you have these qualities, people are willing to come back and renegotiate with you at a later date. This book will give you the skills and tools to be a win-win negotiator with a reputation for building effective, long-term relationships in which both counterparts come out winners.
Part 1. The Skillful Negotiator. Chris Murray said, "Everybody sells something to somebody every day, whether it's a product, a service, or just a case of making sure that they get their own way." Chapter 1. What is a negotiation? In a research study of university students, the following questions were posed to participants. How often do you negotiate? Often, seldom, or never? More than 36% of the respondents answered seldom or never. Actually, this was a trick question, since the correct answer should have been always. Everything in life is negotiated under all conditions at all times, from asking your significant other to take out the garbage to merging onto the freeway in rush hour traffic. From determining what time to schedule an appointment with a client to deciding which television program to watch with your family, every aspect of your life is spent in some form of negotiation. Gerard I. Nierenberg was an American lawyer, author, and expert in negotiation and communication strategy. Forbes named Nierenberg the father of negotiation training for his exploration of negotiation strategies and tactics, as well as his decades of work disseminating the philosophy that in a successful negotiation, everybody wins. Nierenberg was the author of the first book on the formalized process of negotiation, The Art of Negotiating. He stated, whenever people exchange ideas with the intent of changing relationships, whenever they confer for agreement, then they are negotiating. In short, most of us are involved in negotiations to one degree or another for a good part of any given day. Negotiation should be considered a positive way of structuring the communication process. Typical negotiated transactions. Here is a list of some typical transactions in which you can improve your position by negotiating. 1. Price, terms, and accessory items on an automobile purchase. 2. Price, terms, and length of escrow on a home purchase. 3. Turnaround time and the cost for car and home repairs. 4. which Netflix series your family will watch next.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?